boom, boom. Good morning. Welcome to another week of the Sunday podcast that we like to call the Speaker's Corner. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me go ahead and bring into you the industrious and illustrious individuals that will be bringing you the show today. My name is Jeff Wheeler in the shadow of the Gold Dome here in illustrious and lovely downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Let me go to my nearest neighbor to the north, to the cold white north, Frank Hethington. Say good morning, Frank Hethington.
Why do you always sound like an auctioneer at an agromania?
That's how I show my excitement.
I like that, though. Good job. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. And let me go further to the north and say good morning all the way in New York, Queens, New York, to Thom Holmes. Say good morning, Thom.
Yeah, I was to echo Frank. I was like, are we? Is this like we're on a parent's cell phone plan and we only can use a certain amount of minutes a month? I mean, you were just racing through that, man.
Yeah, but you know, you gotta show a little bit of pizzazz.
Sizzle my nizzle.
That's right. I think that's slanderous. And I'm not sure if the ferret will be on the podcast today or if she is sitting in. Is the ferret in?
I might
good.
I might be talking
hello,
in.
Michelle Lynch. Say hello.
No, I don't want to.
Okay. No hello from the ferret. Nothing to do. So we have a wonderful show lined out for you today. We have more topics than we should, which is kind of par for the course. So we're going to pound through them and hit it on. So who's got the first topic? So I said hit it on.
Here comes the boom.
Oh, good
boom,
Lord.
boom, boom,
Hit it
the
on.
boom,
Here
boom,
comes
boom.
the boom. We must be talking about copulation.
Oh.
Long pause. Long pause.
No. We're actually talking about the baby name boom that I keep seeing in my Twitter and Facebook feeds about what your name might be had you been born today. So whereas Michael was really popular in 1983, it might have been more of a Liam today.
Liam.
I thought this segment originally was the baby name boom.
Like the industry?
No, the baby that's named Boom
There's a baby named Boom?
in Frank's world.
I know. Actually, I went to high school with a guy named Boom Boom Mancini, but I think that was a nickname.
I
Isn't
went
he
to
a
high
wrestler?
school with a guy named Ed Sullivan.
You did not. Really?
Swear to God.
That's awesome.
Swear to God.
I went to high school with a lady named Sandy Beach.
So,
Oh, I went to school with John Smith. I always felt bad for him because whenever he checked into a hotel, I'm sure people were like, "Oh, sure, Mr. Smith."
well, why would you
And
feel
will
bad
your
for
lady
him?
be joining you? Well, because John Smith is the classic pseudonym you would give when you're checking into a hotel with somebody who's not your
No,
wife.
it's Pocahontas' boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh man, if we need to correct that, okay.
Don't believe
John
everything you
Smith
hear.
did not date and never dated, and was actually decades older than Pocahontas.
So
Don't let Disney destroy you, man.
should we go directly to history? No, we're not. We're going to stay with the baby name Boom.
Stay
So
with the baby boom name.
what would my name be if I was given birth right now?
Josephus,
Josephus.
Aloysius,
Let me-
Liam,
I'll go
Trigger.
look that up. I didn't realize it was yours.
While she looks that up, I also saw a friend who had posted, and it seems, I don't think if it's the big thing, here's where I'll counter Michelle and say it's the big thing with our age demographic, because increasingly more and more of the people that we're friends with, we went to school with, are having children, so it's on their mind. So suddenly we're seeing it in our news feed.
That's right.
Right.
Because I know it's
in
been
your echo chamber.
people are
Echo
always
chamber.
aware of it, but I think it's our bracket of people.
Yep.
Isn't Noah the number one name? Is that correct?
You can go. I'm still looking up the. What would you be?
What, Michelle, with that deep sigh, was that in resignation or was that?
Resignation.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're all getting older. It's the truth, whether we like it or not. I had a friend once who was like, "Oh man, she said, oh, there's no good music coming out right now," and I was like, "Don't say that. The moment you say that is your recognition that you're actually just not too old to understand the current
You're not
music."
a hip
And she was like,
enough.
"No,"
Right.
she was
That's
like,
right.
no, it's the music now is not that good. I'm like, "Honey, stop. Stop doing that.
Honey, it's not helping.
It's all too loud."
All right.
With their hippity and the hoppity.
Jeff, your name today. And I'm doing this based on the Time baby name popularity, which we will have up in our show
Show
notes.
notes. That never
Show
happens.
notes. Your name today would be Eric. And
Interesting.
with a redundant K at the end, E-R-I-C-K.
Wow.
No. That's Eric.
It's
And
Eric.
that was a .com company that failed. I think it was a Rick James and who was that Bulls player? Rick. I'm kidding.
If you were born in 1930, you would have been a Hugo.
Hugo.
Oh, Hugo.
at all.
Or Ugo.
Hugo, I would enjoy.
Yes.
I would enjoy.
Tom,
Here's-
I'm curious
Yeah.
what yours would be, because yours is, every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So
Yeah. Hey, you're not allowed to use those expressions.
sorry.
Dick.
I've long said that I feel like Tom and Thomas is the most denigrated name in the English language
I
because there's all those idioms, tomfoolery, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, doubting Thomas, peeping Tom.
Yep.
Man, we
So
get
true.
the shaft.
You're so you would be a Brock,
But you're also stoic.
I would be a Brock.
a Brock today.
Ugh, that's awful. But I had a friend. So again, to this, everyone we know is having kids. A friend who posted this to his wife, and basically he said something to like a list to avoid. Here's a list to avoid, and I chimed in and I said, "Look, don't if you react to these are the popular baby names, I will go with something other than popular baby names. You and everyone else who's reacting against that." Plus, also, so suddenly you're just falling into the next big trend. And then I also said, if the name that means something to you, like has family association and has value to you, just happens to be on the most popular list, don't let it dissuade you. Because now you're moving away from something that had meaning, but then you saw some stupid BuzzFeed list or some
That's right.
something based on the census, and you're like, oh no,
right.
I can't do that now.
That's right.
Clickbait said I shouldn't. Just do what you want, man. It's your child.
Top 10
and-
fastest
and-
rising
and-
names in
3.
1946.
When in
Hold
doubt.
on. Yeah.
3. Number 3. Also, this is the third thing I said was when in doubt, give your child an awesome middle name. Because they can go with the middle name.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. Like Clarence.
Frank, you're
Nope, but you have to go from Clarence.
Clarence. Oh, you want me to do the? Okay.
That's his name.
His name is whatever he wants his name to be, honey.
Oh, he has a given name.
Cassius Clay.
Cassius.
The question is if he was born today, not if he...
Okay. I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Sorry.
I'm thinking Noah is the #1 name, though, based on the survey that I saw.
Okay. Who did
Frank
the survey?
was?
I guess I'd make a good Noah. I could pull off Noah.
Yeah, you could pull off Noah.
My nephew's name is... one of his middle names is Noah. He's Sky Noah Thomas Holm.
It's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
Sky Noah.
So he goes
I
by
really
Sky,
think
but
that-
he could go with Noah or Thomas later if you want
I
to.
really think that having punctuation in your name and special characters, like a password, is something that should start to exist.
Well,
I want my
Holy
name.
crap.
My children's name shall be in Wingding.
Speaking of names, oh yes, it should be.
How would you pronounce it? How would you pronounce it?
It would be like the European L for me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Okay. The Frank's name is Gael. I don't know how to say that though.
Gail.
Gail. That's Gail.
Yeah,
That's
just
the
Gail.
it's the male. It's the male version of Gail.
Well,
Yep.
there you go. You would have been a Gale.
You would have been a gale force wind, baby.
that is actually perfect.
Yes, I like that one.
That
She's
is
like the
actually
wind.
perfect.
blowing through my trees.
So
Frank,
that's-
I really like the name Gail for you. Can I start
my-
calling you Gail?
That's my mom's name, dude.
What, really?
Yes.
That's
Gail.
Oh.
And if I had been born today,
Then scratch that.
I would have been Charlotte.
I like that name.
Yeah, I like my
I-
1930s name, Dolores, though.
How about
Dolores?
Zelda?
Dolores.
I would
Dolores!
totally name my kid Zelda. Absolutely.
Yes.
Zelda or Zelma? That's what I said.
Oh.
Zelma.
Zelma?
Z
How high
names
does
are awesome.
Chewbacca rank?
All right, so next up on the list is
How high did the name Max rank?
how high did the name Max rank? That's a great question. Noah was the highest. It doesn't say. I can't find Max on here.
That makes me mad. Makes
Sorry
me
about
really
that.
mad. That
Does that
Max
make you
did not-
really mad? But you
That
know
really
what?
makes me mad.
The universe has something for you, just
Does
you,
it?
Thom.
Whoa.
Yes. And the rest
Go
of the people
on.
that might be mad that there is no Max on this list, they're making a new Mad Max film. Yes. Now, I think there might be some people on the panel that do not know or may not be aware of Mad Max.
I don't know anything about Mad Max. Please explain like I'm
It's-
five.
Go ahead,
Mad Max
Thom.
tells the story of an anti-Semite who finds himself in post-apocalyptic Australia. Oh wait, no, that's me reading, extrapolating from. Mad Max was a series of 3 films. The first one was a very much low-budget cult classic.
Yes.
Film. All 3 starred Mel Gibson, and that.
But the first
forayed
one was
into the
before
large-
Mel Gibson was a thing.
I had no
Well,
idea there were
yeah.
3.
Mad Max,
no idea.
Road Warrior, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
This Mad Max will not possibly. Well, it will have a more feminine touch, is what we've been hearing.
And half the anti-Semitism.
Woohoo!
Feminine touch. What is that
The
like? What is?
it should be women that will be starring in it. I
So
have
it's
to find the stars actually, though.
It's like it's Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron
Thank
is
you.
the or she
Thought it was
pronounces that.
Theron.
Charlize Theron. Theron.
Daron.
It's Theron. Theron. It's like Theron.
Daron.
We'll say Charlize Theron, but she says the like Theron
Daron.
because she's
Okay.
she's from South Africa. So that's
Is
how
she
they-
really South African?
She's I've actually seen, you can watch her speaking Afrikaans on television shows. It's kind
Wow.
of cool.
This is-
By the way, I just saw flights to Cape Town, South Africa, round trip for $810.
Shut the front door.
Who wants to go with me?
Is that El Aid Airlines or?
The plane
have
just
no
left,
idea.
dude. The plane
Yeah.
just left.
It's
I
it's
gotta
a full
keep
circle,
muting.
kids.
I gotta keep muting when the planes. Don't worry, I'm not being bombarded, folks. It's just I live in a flight path.
Indeed.
A flight
they're
path
not-
of awesomeness.
Every few weeks they take off over me, which is worse because like they're kind of arcing over me, so the sound stays for longer. This is just landing, so it's I don't. I
Oh,
prefer
so it's
that.
like watching a baseball game at Shea Stadium. The old Shea Stadium.
Or it's like knitting a sweater, which both of which have no correlation whatsoever.
No, the old Shea.
and
the old-
none of this has a correlation with Mad Max, which is what
Nothing.
we were trying to.
So let's go back to Mad Max.
So
Oh, that-
3 films.
yes.
This is the new. I guess it's a reboot, or is it a sequel with new cast?
It is a Mad Max Fury Road.
Can we
so
just
this is
call it a cash-in?
sequel
So
with-
what is a reboot?
It's redoing the original film with modern awesomeness.
Ostensibly.
So this would be a reboot,
Don't know.
We don't
just
know.
like
I haven't
I
seen
don't know.
just like Poltergeist is a reboot.
Yeah, or is it just a straight up remake? I mean, if you're a reboot would be like you're rebooting it because you're with the idea of like making a new franchise based off it, like the Star Trek movie was
Or-
the modern Star Trek movie was
Speaking
a
of
reboot.
reboots,
Or Spider-Man, or Spider-Man,
Or
or
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Or
Okay,
Batman.
so that's a reboot, right?
Yeah,
That's a
as
reboot.
opposed to a remake might be like a straight up. I'm just redoing Psycho or whatever.
speaking of reboots and remakes,
Yeah?
the Lynch family has been in the news of recent.
Ah, the Lynch is in the news.
Yes,
Dum,
we have
bum,
boom,
bum.
boom, boom. We have a wide family. We have children of all creeds and colors of the Lynches. Thank you. We also have had a bad rap. We get lynched.
Ooh.
And yeah, lynchings and stuff like that get put into our name. But we've got some
It is the origin.
But not bad as Tom's.
not correct. Not as many, I guess. Yes. There are other Lynches. There's some weird Lynches out there, like our friend David Lynch, who is coming back. Has confirmed that he is going to be doing his thing with not a reboot, a remake of Twin Peaks.
Gotcha.
You kidding me?
He has very Lyle Lovett hair.
I had to look it up because I knew that he dropped out, but he came back. Okay, because I was
Yes.
about to say not so fast, but I'm like, oh, not me so fast.
That was a
He
recent
came
Twitter.
back.
update.
Ah,
Yes. So me and my Lynches, we've got like a whole a Lynch stream that just comes to all the Lynches, and we just know.
I have to chime in with my favorite David Lynch moment of the recent history, which was and I'm still peeved, and this is tied in with Saturday Night Live. Louis C.K. was on it last night hosting. I'm still peeved that he didn't win for best. You know, they give out an Emmy for best guest character or guest actor on a television series.
I didn't know
And his
that.
turn, yeah, it's a really cool award. Like Mel Gibson or Mel Brooks won it for it.
Not Mel Gibson.
What was he? Was someone's father? I can't remember what show. Mad About You or
Awesome.
But David Lynch had a 2-episode story arc or maybe 3-episode story arc on Louis C.K. where he was like an agent trying to help Louis C.K. It is the most. I don't know if you watched the show, but it's totally worth it because it's the most insane
Absurd.
performance, and he's wonderful. I love David Lynch,
Yes.
and I'm excited that he's back because trying to do it without him would be a sin.
My favorite
agree.
Lynch is Stephen Lynch, though.
Another interesting Lynch.
Who's Stephen Lynch?
He's
Sorry.
the guy who stands with a guitar and writes perverted songs and sings
Yeah.
them as
The
a stand-up
comedian.
comedy bit.
I know my
that.
Lynches.
His stand-up comedy bit is him singing silly songs with a guitar with words that are kind of ruckus, which falls into my wheelhouse of happiness. Am I wrong?
I believe that. We also have some serious Lynches out there.
Okay.
A shout out to Loretta Lynch.
Woot woot. Dropping the book on Baltimore, yo.
Oh, do we lose?
Yeah, I think we've
Our new
lost our
U.S.
Lynch.
Attorney General.
Oh, the Lynch came back.
Okay, the Lynch came back. And
We
it's
lost
gone
you for a
again.
second.
What about Loretta Lynch in the news? I think she had something to do with the Baltimore protests and basically that police department had a lot of activity the last couple. I mean, this has been several cases that police department has been under scrutiny for a while. So it was my understanding that this is like a really big time federal investigation.
Okay.
I applaud that it was a strong local action by the local government. So rather than having to I'm sure Jeff would agree to appreciate this. It's nice to see local government stepping in, saying we're going to take
Yes.
care of this. We're going to handle this. This is our city. This is our municipality. So let's set things straight. I also appreciate that they quickly also released, basically, or dismissed, I think, the charges against most of the people who've been arrested during the protests. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's tactically, it looks smart. It's also tactically smart because you've got a city that's very angry, and you're turning and immediately, not waiting for one of these long and like, okay, we're going to do a fact-finding mission and blah blah blah.
Right.
Right.
No, they just do
We're
something.
like, all right, we're going to take action. We're going to start the process going. And that immediately gets people going. All right, cool. I am seeing something happen.
Right.
So-
I applaud.
I
the
applaud
strong,
doing
quick
something,
movement.
even if it's wrong. It's better to do something and attempt than it is to, I mean, we're too crippled as a society of not doing anything than we could be. We really should be more eager to do something rather than do nothing.
So afraid of taking a misstep that we never.
That's
even
right. That we take no
we
steps.
stay seated. Yeah.
Yep. We
One
have
of the
taught
points-
our children to do that.
One of the points I would bring to the table is it's different than Ferguson this time around, in my humble opinion, because what Thom was talking about how, this federal action is occurring right now without going through all the legal steps and hurdles that they have to take, an inquisition or formal hearings, all these different things they have to do. Well, like they did in the Ferguson case, that drug out for 6, 7, 8, 9 months in a row. Whereas on this case, because of the previous history of that law enforcement department, of all the different out of court settlements that they've had, which have been numerous over the last 10, 15 years, is what I've read, that this action's been taken, like you said, ASAP. Let's just roll with this and see where it goes, because I don't know necessarily that was them looking at, hey, we need to take action because this could boil over, like it did last year with Ferguson. I can't believe it's been a year since Ferguson, by the way. But it was very important for that department, or for the FBI to enter into this, because I think, A, it helps fix a wrong if there's something going on with this police department. absolutely they should be scrutinized for it. And B, it puts the lid on, well, figuratively speaking, the angst and just that overall, which is another topic for another day, but how that society in general in Baltimore is being not overlooked, so to speak.
I don't know that they're being overlooked, but
That's a topic for another day.
all right. And was there one more Lynch? Did we cover all the Lynches? Peter Lynch, did he do anything?
Are you just pulling names out? Or are you?
Peter Lynch? He's an investor that worked with the Oracle of Omaha.
Him and Merrill did not have any news this week.
Nice. Oh, and our Lynch is back. Yay.
Hey!
So what's next up on the docket?
The digital death landscape. So we all live in a digital world. We all have a digital presence. We all have a digital life, if you will. And what happens when our digital life is terminated because our existential physical life is then terminated? What do you do? What is the correct and right way to do that? What is in the digital death landscape? Ladies and gentlemen,
You
bring
start
it to
up
me.
a holograph program and
Oh,
insert
my
my
goodness.
brain into it. And
I just consider it replays. We've recorded enough now that we can release just little bits of each one of our existence for every single time that we need to, and so really it should just be re-released.
Sarah Connor.
Replays, kids, replays.
So, okay, let me ask you a question. May I say something real quick? Because I was thinking about this during the baby name segment. So it kind of ties into the whole death thing, right? Let's say, so at birth, right?
Cradle
I'm
to
talking
grave,
about-
Frank, do it.
Cradle to grave, right? So how about we start a company where we find out the babies that are being born, because that's public record, and then
Okay.
we say, hey, we can offer you a subscription service where you generate your digital name, and it will last with you as long as you want, and then it's a subscription-based service.
Yeah, but what does it do?
Makes us
It's
money.
it's like Facebook, but you have to pay for it.
Right, and who in their right mind would do that? So it's like air,
Nev-
but
you shouldn't
I
ask
send
that
it to you
question.
in the mail and charge
Yes.
you for it.
Exactly.
buy air in the mail today.
It's like
Right.
it's like glacial Norwegian water that you buy for $10 a pop.
People buy Starbucks cards with no money on them for $50 each. This world is full of people that are just waiting to spend the money.
Because it's a premium, because we are taking your digital life from cradle to grave. And then we take care of, once you pass on to the next world, we
Frank,
take care of all of
I will
What?
support you in doing it, but I will not do it.
I will defend your right to do that, but I'm not joining you in line.
But when Michelle actually posted this week, it is actually a trend, I guess, a digital trend, I guess you would say, for people that are archivists, I guess, that the baby boomers are just getting older. They now have a presence online, and they're the ones that would probably want to have some kind of record of themselves once they leave. I think you could. Hell, if you can market stuff like PC-Matic on the television, you could market this stuff.
Here's where I think that is actually going to work. It may not be something for everybody, but those people that are suffering from some sort of a disease or whatnot that have a legacy of children, or they could want to subscribe or buy into a system like that where it's tracking their legacy. And I think you're right. I also think that it's within another part of it's in our age range, and we're thinking about this more than others may be.
Yeah, but that's not sustainable for long periods of time. You have millions and millions of people, and you get 2% of them to do this every single time that a kid is born. And then how many entries does that create, and how much clutter does that create on the internet?
Not much. We're talking about ones and zeros. It's how much clutter does Google create on the internet? Oh well,
right.
That was bad. Never mind.
I think I need to clarify my question, because maybe I started something that wasn't what I thought. I was actually looking for basically a digital shredder, so that should I die, I can pre-designate all the things that I want deleted, not so much saved or archived or put into posterity. I was looking for more of like a, in case of death, burn all my records.
Right.
Would
right,
you
right.
have-
So
would
those
you have to be
pictures
a
How do
lawyer?
I
of your
get
hairy
exactly?
butt cheeks go
How do I
away.
get
Yeah.
that service taken?
Yeah, exactly.
You
Well,
definitely would have to
that's
be a
another
lawyer.
thing.
I sent you those
know
pictures,
what?
Jeff.
Yes.
Oh,
You have
damn.
insurance in Kate. She'll do
Or
it.
I send Jeff and Frank 50 each and say if you see my obituary, here's my key. Break into the apartment.
Well, see, that's
There's
it.
the box
You
to
need to
burn.
have a
Burn it
digital.
all.
You got to have a digital key that holds the key to all of your accounts.
A
Yeah.
digital
That's
key
updated.
holder too.
Right. Or some way to get it that's part of your thing that is, and you can have something complicated and convoluted like you're watching an episode of Clue where this person knows this piece of data and this person knows this piece of data and then your will has the other piece of data. All of them together make a password that gets you into the thing that allows somebody to get all of your other passwords to make a digital destruction of what you have.
But they have to go cross country. They have to go cross country to solve the
Right.
clues too. So
Right.
now it's like national treasure. National treasure meets, and everyone needs to talk like Nicolas Cage because that's part of the mystery.
Can we have a nuclear submarine?
There's something here.
And can the guy defect? That would be awesome. And Alec Baldwin's got to be in it as well.
No, there's no Alec Baldwin in my
Nope.
will.
There's no Alec Baldwin in my historical record.
There's a Stephen Baldwin in mine.
What are you talking about? Steven's the worst.
That's why he's my will.
Oh, God.
You know who's not my will though?
Rubio!
That's right.
Of course.
So,
I don't know.
Rubio.
Did he do anything this week?
For me, he did something.
What did he do?
No. I know he's running for president. But
Yes.
what did he
The
do?
end.
What did he do before becoming a U.S. senator in Florida? Was he a lawyer? I don't even know what he
Yeah, I
did.
believe
Wait,
so.
wait.
He was
who's
in
running
the
for
Florida State
president?
legislature
How do we know this already?
because he announced, right?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Okay, so help me out, guys. Who's announced? I don't remember. I don't know who's announced then.
Okay, let's start this game.
Of
Go ahead.
the major candidates.
Of the
ones
major-
that
yeah,
matter.
please, major
She's just
not
talking
the hundred.
majors.
Ben Carson, the neurosurgeon from Maryland.
Yes, Carly
true?
Fiorini, Carla Fiorini,
Fiorini.
Carly Fiorino.
Carla Fiorini.
Fiorino. Okay.
She's announced. Rubio has announced. Cruz has announced.
Jeb?
Has
Jeb
he
has
or did he
not
get
announced.
not? Yeah.
Oh, Jeff
He is
not
still
announced.
in the exploratory phase, so he doesn't have to follow any campaign finance rules.
How about my man Bernie? How
Huckabee
about
is
my
announced.
man Bernie Sanders,
Huckabee's
yo?
back.
We're doing the Republicans right now.
Oh.
Because it's just Bernie and Hillary on the other side. Scott Walker is not announced yet, right?
Nope.
Do not think so.
And
But he's
Santorum
polling
has
very
not
Is he
well.
from
announced, right?
Texas? Is he?
Who? What?
He's from
Walker?
Wisconsin.
No, he's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Scott Walker, Governor Ranger.
So why was Rubio in the news, though? I'm confused.
Michelle.
Rubio is in the news. I'm looking at my listing of why I put Rubio in the news myself.
Because he's from Cuba and he's an illegal.
Cuba. I don't know that. Maybe he's from Kenya. Maybe that's what we really need to say, right?
Marco Rubio's Tyrant Trap.
Tyrant Trap. Well, I have my thing for Rubio,
You go
Tom.
for it.
which was from middle of this week, where he tweeted, and this is me ranting. I posted something, saying, politicians have who's breathing heavy. Come on, this is not that kind of chat, my
It's a
friend.
This is
Family
not that kind of phone call.
Yeah.
Well, anytime Rubio's in the news, I get hyperventilated.
It was his
bet.
first official foreign policy speech.
Okay, go, Frank.
Oh,
Or
so
Tom.
he tweeted, and I took bridle to this, which was, I was thinking, he wrote, "America is the first power in history motivated by a desire to expand freedom rather than its own territory."
But wait, isn't that
I had posted this, and I put some comment about, like, most politicians seem to have a hard enough time understanding the present. They should shut their cake holes when it comes to the past, because this is just ignorant on so many levels, and this falls into the, I just want a politician who stop, and I know they have to do it because it's what the people, or what people want to hear, but stop with this. America has been the greatest, it is the greatest, and will always be the greatest place on earth, because that makes me think either you're a liar or you're completely effing delusional.
Yep. Well, to an educated and intellectual audience, that is what it goes to, right? But you got to realize the vast majority of the populace went to public school and quit. Didn't really get an education in history. I don't know crap about history. I'd listen to that and go, oh, okay.
Are you listening to that and going, oh, okay?
I hear from people who are smarter than me and go, I think there's probably more to that than what's going on. And I take every politician's word with a grain of salt. But I don't know any specifics that I could call them out on. I'm not smart enough to know the specifics. But I'm smart enough to know that I wouldn't know that if I was in his position.
But you're also smart enough to know to think and to think about where places that you can get the information.
That's right. I know that I'm smart enough to need to research.
Hashtag Wyatt.
Hashtag what?
Wyatt.
Ah.
Wyatt
Sinek. I love him.
Yeah. All right.
So that's Rudy Soho.
So there was also some news about the ISIS leader. What does the killing of a senior ISIS leader mean?
To me.
Oh, man.
To you.
So go, Michelle. What does it mean to you?
It means that apparently we're still at fighting the terrorists.
That's long
literally
war.
what it means to me.
Okay.
Which is not very enlightening, which is exactly my point. Go ahead.
It means to me, Jack, a little bit of combination of Jack and shit.
Yep.
We're seeing this both because I just read a great article about the drug war in Mexico and how an unanticipated consequence of, because they started a process of going after high-value targets. Mm-hmm. Basically the leaders of some of the major cartels and taking them out, either killing them or arresting them. Arresting them or in the process killing them. But all that's done is basically break up those large cartels into smaller, just as fervent and intense. Just this past week, I believe, or was it the week before, a government helicopter was shot down with a rocket-propelled grenade in Mexico by one of the cartels.
In
Mexico. So,
Lord.
so it's on paper and in the press. It sounds impressive that we killed the head of the organization, but A, someone's going to step up, and B, it doesn't do anything to solve the underlying problems that lead to people joining such organizations. Right. So it means nothing.
What I've learned about so far, just reading some people that are in the know and watching the actual pundits, I guess the Hubby's military counterterrorism analysts talk, is that ISIS right now is doing an exceptional job at broadcasting themselves through digital media and getting this, I guess, next generation of people that think the way that they do.
And that's the war that needs to be happening. It needs to be happening in the hearts and minds of those at the bottom.
Because you got to think the territory is so vast and not even populated where their strongholds are, right? So basically, Syria and Iran are basically just desert, right? There's no real international boundary right now. So these guys are going all over the place. And so I guess the point you're trying to make, Jeff, is the battle really needs to be as like a cyber terrorism level type, getting more infrastructure out there, because the way what I've seen on TV and watched on TV with these guys is saying that the CIA and other departments are overloaded with trying to track these guys down. I think the way that they do.
But we're fighting the wrong war in the wrong way. We're not trying to. We're trying to fight the politically expedient war, which is, you got to lop the head off and everything else will be fine. All these people will be fine. But that's not the way you actually solve the long-term problem.
It's akin to, and this is a natural problem of like it's a case of business. It's certainly the case of politics, and it's certainly the case of the military, is where you have the natural progression of things, where you have the general is someone who's been in for 30 years. The leader of your party is someone who's probably at least in the U.S., not in the U.K., where they seem to be like their parliamentarians or their heads of parliament are in their 40s, but here it's like 60s. So you have people who grew up in a system that is now dated. And same with the military, same with business. Sometimes potentially, if you have I think companies are now much more dynamic in the way they spread. They've realized you can't have the CEO who's in his prime. His prime period was 30 years ago,
Right.
because he or she is thinking in terms of that period.
Right.
So you have they saw in Vietnam where they had generals who grew up in World War II open field combat and suddenly were in jungle warfare against a
Guerrilla style
organization, and didn't have the skill set to kind of do that. And I think you're seeing it now, where you still have people who are thinking, who went into Iraq last decade with visions of Desert Storm. It's like different beast, different world.
Yeah.
So speaking of our
I
modern
don't know,
world,
exactly.
I saw in the news today a selfie drone. So if you ever need a better selfie, the way to do it is carry with you a small drone, have it zoom out, come out a little while behind, click, take your picture, all is well.
Because any time that I need to take my frontal picture, I use a quadcopter.
I'm going to change my things that piss Tom off that shouldn't piss Tom off.
To just
tie
make
into
it
this.
Jeff?
No, baby, no.
Oh. Touch it.
No, I just realized the thing that is, because this truly is the thing that shouldn't piss me off, that does piss me off, which is people using a selfie stick to take pictures of themselves, but they still get the selfie stick in the picture.
Oh,
And
God.
Yeah, I've seen this. I'm like, that's double fail. First off, the whole selfie stick thing is stupid. But if you're
I've
not
never
even doing it right.
Yep.
Because the idea is to make it look like you're just having a photo taken,
Right.
Not like, look, it
Okay.
shouldn't piss me off, but it does.
So that is a hipster thing, selfie stick.
No,
No,
it's a
no.
ubiquitous thing. No, you won't see hipsters with
I've
selfie
never,
sticks.
No.
I've never even seen a selfie stick.
Unless
Museums-
the selfie stick was built in 1934, then no, you won't see hipsters with it.
The worst thing I saw, unless it's a hand cranked, old timey.
Right. That has
Okay.
gears on it. Yeah.
So
The
it's got
worst
to be
thing I
of like
saw-
mahogany. Got it.
Exactly.
One gear. It's a fixie gear.
It's a fixie. It's a fixie. Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
fixie single
Oh,
geared.
The worst thing, and there's two things to this. It was bad, and thankfully museums are starting to respond. I saw this guy walking through the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He was walking, and he had a selfie stick with like his iPad on it, but he was filming himself. Which, I got a phone call. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I could.
I have a phone call. My alarm went off for some reason. I don't know why
Oh.
my 12 o'clock alarm went off. But here's so that was stupid. Museums, though, more and more museums are now banning selfie sticks.
So
Oh, nice.
museums are not banning cell phones and taking pictures of artwork with cell phones.
No.
It's
Most
just
of
the-
them have rules against taking pictures with cell phones, or many of them that I've been in have
They
You
may
rules.
have
cannot
rules
have-
about
Flash photography,
right, correct.
because that would hurt the
And,
actual art.
and is the regulation because it's causing them to be in front of a painting, which distracts from other people's, I guess, perception of the art, or it becomes?
You're
I don't know.
swinging a fucking pole around, which
Okay.
A could hit other patrons, or B hit art because you're not paying attention and you're swinging the stick around to get your perfect angle, and the next thing you know, you're knocking over a Ming vase or something.
Right.
Oh, good. It was a fake. You can tell by the cross sections. Sorry.
Indiana
Full
Jones.
circle. And Nevada is also in the news. They have an
Nevada.
automated truck to not have a driver in it. How
Yeah.
excited are you about that? I am so excited.
I'm terrified. I saw that movie where the cars come alive.
So excited.
Not
Futures
Christy.
now.
Transformers.
It's, Kirby.
No. Not
Herbie.
not
Herbie.
Herbie
Herbie.
Goes Bananas.
Herbie goes, but yeah, that's the one.
No. Emilio Estevez was in it.
The Flying Ducks.
Ha ha! Bang bang.
But in any case, the story is Nevada has
Maximum Overdrive. That was
God
the
bless
movie.
the internet.
Okay.
So how does
used
this
it.
even work? How does it work, Jeff? Because I have no idea how this concept even works.
They basically have a computer that has lots of cameras, and it maps out what all is going in front of you, what all is going behind you, and it says don't miss things and stay in between the lines and go the speed limit. Done.
So this is actually on.
Then you don't have to
interstate-
have a human touch anything. And think of the increase in safety that can go on without human error, right? Yes, the computers are going to have 0.1% error. But then there's not the human rate of error at 1%. So you've now made a tenfold increase in safety by moving to a computer error of 0.1% from a human error of 1%.
So this is a truck like an
also
18-wheeler?
probably fuel efficiency and driver
Fuel
efficiency, because
efficiency,
suddenly it's doing the perfect slowdown,
Drag
perfect
reduction.
acceleration.
Yep,
yeah.
that's right. That's right. So
Which in the end will also just help the actual cars themselves.
Right, which will also help the cost of our goods and services, because eventually, if you do this right, you've got truck trains that'll go on the
Yeah.
expressway. You have somebody drive up with one of those containers that they use from a ship. A machine takes it off of the local route, puts it onto a truck train that goes on the expressway for 800 miles. They use the roads as if they were train tracks, and they go as far or as long as they need to go.
And global warming goes down.
Correct? Correct. Correct.
But we'd still have to have some humans somewhere in that process.
Yes, absolutely. But you get rid of you get rid of the time sink, because think about how many humans are getting clubfoot from holding the accelerator down all the damn day long, and think about those people that all their job is to sit in a truck and move things across our country. Wouldn't that human effort be better utilized doing anything else?
And more importantly, the movie Over the Top may have never been made.
It has already been made, so that piece of posterity exists.
You can't unmake
You can't
it.
you can't unmake it.
You're still going to need somebody to finagle the truck when it has to get to its destination.
Right. But speaking of its destination, often trucks go to Florida, and I have a story from the state of Florida. A man was turned himself in this past week for killing his imaginary friend.
Marco Rubio.
The reason that he killed his imaginary friend of 7 years, the reason he killed his imaginary friend of 7 years was because he was messy.
What?
But apparently, this man got in trouble for turning in himself for killing his imaginary friend, not because of the murder, but actually because he had meth in his pocket.
Oh my God.
Felony. All
Ladies and
right.
gentlemen, meth is bad.
Meth is bad.
So he got arrested because he was... What was the charge for him getting arrested?
He turned himself in, and then he had meth on his person. when he
Oh,
showed up at the
okay.
police station.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
He
the
went to the
punchline.
police station with meth on him?
Yes. Yes.
So he was physically on meth and had meth on his person.
So what we say is you cannot make this shit up. That's really what the moral to this story
Truth
is.
is stranger than fiction.
That is correct.
Why is it always a Florida man? Why is it always a Florida man?
You have lived down here. You know what the sun does to your brain. It addles
There's
your brain.
there's a great article in the New York Times from this past week, Monday or Sunday, about the Florida Man Twitter handle, and at the end, in the interview, Carl Hyacin, the author, and at the end they do one of the best breakdowns trying to explain why they think so much weirdness takes place in Florida. I highly recommend. We'll put it in the show notes. I highly recommend reading it because it's one of the best kind of analyses I've seen.
And I highly recommend Carl Hyacin because every one of his books is only 2 words.
The end?
Striptease.
We didn't have an asshat this week, did we?
Yeah, it was going to be my Rubio, and but I got excited and jumped the gun.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we'll
Early
just post-mortem dictate that he is the asshat.
He is the ass. Along with, I think, Ann Coulter and Sean Hannity and all of Fox News this week.
Yeah, but they're always
God,
asshats.
is she still relevant?
They're in the Hall of Fame. They're retired. They're professionals. They can't.
So, did you see the one on Last Week Tonight? John Oliver is doing some brilliant stuff where he made fun of Fox News being Fox News. If you don't pay attention to John Oliver Last Week Tonight on HBO, it is the brainy stuff that they used to do on Daily Show and Colbert Report and all of that kind of stuff. But he does it in a very succinct and eloquent way, in my opinion. He does it.
That's the advantage of having a week to write.
That's right. That's right. And that's the concept, is instead of trying to pound out something every single day, let's just collate and create this better, more cohesive statement once a week.
Kind of like this podcast.
That's right. We collate.
Exactly.
We bring it together. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here to think because you also should be thinking. And I am here saying to you that you do not have to think like me.
You do not have to think like me.
Hashtag Wyatt.
We ask you to think.com, but you don't have to think like me.
But we do ask that you think. Ladies and gentlemen, do it this week, do it next week. Come back and hang out. Wyatt.com. Hashtag.